My farthest along pickle. Cucumber, obviously, but soon to be pickle. There are a ton just popping up all over. So I've remained fairly quiet so that hopefully you might be able to hear all of the birds and the owl, you know, whenever you don't hear all of the cars driving by. And you can see the ducks have made it to the compost because I scared them from where I normally used to let them peck at, because I'm going to be planting that area soon. I started off by showing my largest cucumber from all those vines over there. Those were like a late June planting. The airport's nearby. That's like a little tiny plane. Those fly fairly frequently on the weekends too. So peppers, chili peppers and jalapenos are what I have planted over there. They're finally coming in great. Amazing. I had to pull a bunch of vines from over here. So like this area is a little bare, but it has all the beautiful lamb's quarters is what this seemingly weed is. But lamb's quarters is edible early on, and so I like to let it seed for a cover crop in areas, or at least I don't worry about it. And then, man, dead-eyed Susans. That's what these are, right? Black-eyed Susans? Black-eyed Susans. I can never remember. I always just want to call them sunflowers. But I was going to say those have been taking over very well. And these tomatoes are just growing out of control on this one plant, and I love it. It's cherry tomatoes, and it's just everywhere you could possibly have a tomato, there is a tomato, and this is the plant that just goes up through there. And it's my wildest tomato, really. This has so many suckers and different branches. I pulled some squash from over here, the plants I mean, so now it's just this beautiful flower bed with this pink flower that I absolutely love and have no idea what it is. There's a beautiful white one that grows in here somewhere too, I think on the other side of this corn. And then the dragon tongue bush beans are really starting to bush out, but they have these beautiful little bean flowers growing. I was a little concerned about them because they didn't seem to be producing much for a while, and now they have all these flowers, so I'm excited. They were a late plant too. I shouldn't have worried. I have no idea who that squash flower belongs to in the scheme of everything I have going on here. Honestly think that that flower belongs to a volunteer that is secretly weaving its way from over there and coming this way. It'll be interesting to see what I find amongst this corn, which is the flimsiest of corn. So look at that. You saw my other corn earlier. This is my tiny little corn, and this corn was planted way before the other corn. Big difference is the sun pattern and the fact that that corn gets duck pond water, and I wonder if all that extra fertilization has been really beneficial. I also wonder what it's going to do to the flavor of my corn, but hopefully nothing. Ideally nothing. All of these are volunteers, if you can believe it. Like all of these squash plants, I mean, and technically actually all those carrots are volunteers as well. And this clover is a cover crop, and you can see the more lamb's quarters in there. I've got pumpkin, and these actually, okay, I know I just said they were volunteers, but if they're vining from far back enough, they could be jack-o'-lanterns. Could be these two. My horseradish is right there. This plant. And right here I have rhubarb. But rhubarb likes colder weather, so I am expecting it will take off later in the fall. And there is a pepper plant here. It's not doing well, that I can tell. But I know I showed you my chili peppers are doing great, but also I have a pepper plant over here, just one lonesome one. And would you look at that? A bell pepper. Honestly, I've planted these a bunch in this garden in various places and never been able to grow a single one, so that is an accomplishment. I did come through yesterday and harvest all my summer squash that was ready because I had zucchini to cook for dinner. So I don't have anything to show you through here. I just absolutely love all these flowers. That's radish. This is radish going to seed. That's radish seed still. And all of this amaranth. That'll start dropping off soon. It makes a lovely grain or a fabulous cover crop. Oh, I did find a squash. Like a little baby one. And more of the dragon tongue bush beans. And this is more asparagus. I think I have 2 shoots that are coming back now. I don't plant asparagus. That was established by the prior owner of this house, and I've cut it down every year and built up a mound of dirt over it even, and it still just plugged its way through, so that's amazing. I just disturbed the bee. I accidentally disturb them all the time because they like to just rest under leaves. Okay, most exciting thing if you've made it this far, and I won't be much longer. Okra. I am so excited. Sorry, spider. Not trying to scare you there, bud. So excited to have okra finally growing because I was worried that they weren't going to do anything. And then this corn is just, again, doing so well. There's corn back there. I don't know if you can see it well. Just lots of big cobs of corn over here. Absolutely love it. And then these hanging pumpkins, that's a volunteer plant. I don't know how big they're gonna get. It's possible that it's something I planted. It just always depends on how far things like that can vine. And at this point, it's hard to tell one squash plant from the other. So, really unusual is that there are no bees this morning. And that, again, very, I saw the one, I think I've seen like a handful. And there's normally like a bee in every squash plant and covering my sunflowers. I don't know if it's the smoke in the air or what, but they're normally pretty bad out here. Oh, look at this. I didn't notice. There's a little mushroom forest. If the ducks make it to this side, they're going to be thrilled because they love these mushrooms. I actually would have stayed off of them if I had thought about it. I didn't even notice them. I have this one sunflower, last thing to show. See all typical sunflowers, right? But there's this one beautiful, just blonde sunflower. I'm here for it. Okay. Thanks for coming along. That's it for now, folks.